Well, let's continue. I did a little bit of testing to try and figure out what's going on with the frame rate, or if there's anything I could do to improve the recording while still being able to see IntelliSense like this. Because I think this is an important part of the experience, is being able to see exactly what it is I'm doing, because I do make use of IntelliSense. And it probably will be weird for things to just randomly start appearing. Tried moving to window capture, and window capture works, but it for some reason can't capture the overlay of the tooltips. So I have to use arrow on and monitor capture, which is not very effective at being captured for some reason. I've got this video set to 20 frames per second. It should be fine because all I'm doing here is coding. I'm not watching any videos. There's not anything moving. All it is typing, so it should be fine. So what I'm going to do in this part is continue from where I left off, which was starting to create my methods and the logic of this all. So what we're going to be doing is making this button work. So what it's going to do is it's going to send the text in here to the view model with this get playlist info method. So let's start implementing this. The first thing we need to do is test to make sure that it's valid playlist. Unfortunately, I do have a very useful static method in the YouTube playlist class that will allow me to do that. YouTube playlist, not validate playlist. I'm going to call this text input. So that's going to return a Boolean. Oops. I'm going to do this in a way that reduces nesting. So we're just going to check to see if this is valid. And I need to put a bang there, as I say. Some people call this a bang. So if this returns true, then we want to invert that. And so if this is false, then we want to return false. So if this is an invalid playlist, return false. And then if it's a valid playlist, then it's not going to return false, and it's going to continue on, and we can continue doing stuff. So if we determine that this is a valid playlist, we need to create a new playlist object, and we're going to need a field for that up here. It's going to be a private field. So we'll put it down here underneath the public fields. We can just call it YouTube playlist. Why not? I still got the Genesis going, by the way. Apparently they wore weird outfits. Oh no, I don't know too much about Genesis. Sounds familiar. Yeah, I'm going to turn it on for a second so you can hear it. It sounds familiar to me. Sounds familiar. I don't know. That's All it's called. Genesis, That's All. Nice piano riff there. All right, so let's get back to business on this one. So we've got our private field here. And we can input text input. You have to, when you're using this, you need to make sure that you are properly using valid playlists when you are using the constructor. Like, I guess I could put a check in here. In the constructor. Where's the constructor? Oops. YouTube playlist. Okay, I'm checking in the constructor. And it will throw an invalid argument exception. Alright. So I did do my coding properly. I'm not an idiot. But generally you need to check to make sure. Because it's bad to throw exceptions unnecessarily. Which it is unnecessary when you have a static method to check it in advance. Alright, so we're going to have that. Then what do we do next after we create the playlist? What exactly happens when it creates the playlist? Because this is getting to where I'm going to need to be creating tasks and do multi-threading. So when I create a playlist, it gets playlist information, which gets the basic info about the playlist. Get all YouTube URLs is another method, which creates a list. And it creates a list of each video with a YouTube URL. And total duration. And this uses this stuff here to get the total duration of all the videos in here. It just reads this to get it, rather than looking at the actual videos to see what the total duration is. And when I was thinking about this project like a month or two ago, I was considering coming up with another class to represent a group of YouTube videos, basically. And I was undecided on whether or not that was a specialized class for that was necessary. Probably would have its uses, but I think I don't really need to do that. I can just, for the purposes of this, do all that work in just this program itself. Though I might create a special class rather than have all that logic in the view model. Okay, so we want to get the playlist info, and we're going to get the playlist info. And we probably need to do that asynchronously. So let's see. Let's see what I have here. Let's remind myself how I can do things asynchronously. I'm updating the status bar asynchronously. There's a song about it being an illegal alien. Maybe you should go back to your country then if you don't like being an illegal alien. Dummy. Okay, so I can consider using a sync, but I don't have a huge amount of experience with it, so I'm not sure exactly how the best way to actually structure your asynchronous stuff is. Like, because what I need to do asynchronously is actually I need to instantiate the object asynchronously. It seems like you probably shouldn't be instantiating things asynchronously. Maybe I need some async here. Like getting the playlist information. Like that can be asynchronous. Right? The most important thing to be asynchronous is downloading this. That's something I can look into later, I think. Let's just do this linearly. So we're gonna be downloading the playlist. And let's create a new method. A new private method, and it's gonna be set information. So what we're going to be doing is basically just setting the properties here. So this is the part that I kind of don't like. Like I could just have these reference. I don't know. Should be fine. This is the thing, is like when I'm coding, I just try and think ahead and think of different things. Wait a minute. Why is this a string? Why is a numeric value a string? No, it's an int. I must have screwed this up here. Playlist video count. What? Number of videos is an int. I haven't got a clue what it's talking about. Source type string. What are you talking about? And then we can add return true here at the end. I seriously don't know what it's talking about. String? Maybe what happened is I had it as a string before, then I changed it and I didn't rebuild. Okay, so that changed something else here. Validate playlist. Oh, it's validate playlist URL. Yeah, I did make some changes and never rebuilt the release. Okay, so that's what the confusion was. I was using an old version. I imported an old version. Okay, anyways, let's continue. So last updated. Whoops. Wrong order here. Order doesn't matter, of course, but total video view count. Okay. This is where I actually have to do some additional work, so I can't do this yet. I'll just comment that out. And comments is the same thing. All right, so I think we have something we can test here. We can finally see something start to work, maybe. Moment of truth. Yeah, this needs to be larger. Bada bing, bada boom. This doesn't work. This formatting doesn't work. It says number of videos 44. Title August Farewell Extravaganza. Owner is Eincrou Productions Co. Number of videos 44. Playlist views 24. This should have worked, but whatever. Total duration looks like that didn't. I think that means 1 day, 20 hours, 13 minutes, 53 seconds. Yeah, I need to figure out how to get the string format thing working. And then video views and comments hasn't been implemented yet. Oh, there's another thing I can do. So we can also check I want to put some way to check to make sure that we're not inputting the same URL in, but that would require a way to get at the ID. But I'd probably have to make another static method to do that, but I don't really want to do that. We'll worry about that later. I think this is good enough place to end it in this video. We got some basic functionality going. That's pretty nice. So what I'm going to have to do next time, I want to figure out how to display these correctly with the string format here. For some reason it's not working. I was looking it up. I was looking it up here. Use string format to add a string to XAML binding. And if you don't want to make any changes, any text appended, you got to do it like this. This should work. I don't get it. What happens if I do this? Yeah, it just says MMM. This just does nothing. Set that to one way. What happens here? Let's create a rule. Just says 13, which I believe is just the day. D is just, yeah, day of the month. Let's see what happens like this. It just says DDDD. You don't get it. Apparently if you want to do it like this, you have to add something. Ah, it doesn't work. Let's look for something more up to date, I guess. So this person had a question about validation. Okay, this looks like what I'm looking for. Oh, what's going on? So you have to use 2 braces if you're not going to be using any text. Come on, stop it. Use apostrophes. Oh my god, why does it keep jumping down? Is it because I got ad block off? It just keeps... Whoa! Alright, so this looks like what I want. Date. Yeah. I'm just going to copy this verbatim. Maybe I do need to use a text block. I mean, it's got string format, so why couldn't I just use this? Let's change this to a block. I think I need to remove this. Oh, I've got an extra string format here. Whoops. What? Why does it look like this? Oh, I've got it bound to day. I didn't realize that. That says... Okay, that's what my problem was. It was bound to just the day. But couldn't show anything. Whoops. That's what the problem was. Sunday, September 13th. So I don't want it to say date, obviously. So put these brackets. Sunday, September 13th, 2015. Let's try to find another playlist to test with. I know, Angry Joe. I haven't watched any of this guy's videos in years. Don't worry. Let's check out this. So the title of the playlist is Angry Reviews. The owner is Angry Joe Show. 110 videos, yep. There's 0 playlist views. That seems unlikely. 13 million views, so I need to find out why it thinks it's 0. Last updated September 19th, yep. Total duration is not currently readable. So I'm going to fix the time, and then that will be it for this video. Time span. There should be a standard format for what I'm looking for. Okay, so I guess standard strings doesn't have what I'm looking for. Okay, so D is days. Put this on my other monitor so I can see it. See if this works. No. Might have to do this as a string. Or actually, maybe. Oh, damn it, I hate it. It keeps doing this. Okay, maybe this is the way to do it. Like in this case, should do it like this. Oh, I have to do this if I'm going to put something after. Wait, why is this not working now? This should be the day, the month. Why does this not work all of a sudden? It does. Yeah, it's not working. God, please stop doing that. I think I need to move this down. Sick of it doing that. It just shows nothing now. Maybe it's because, I don't know. Just gonna show seconds now. Nothing. Maybe it needs to be a text block again. No. Is that what I need to do? Put a percentage sign? I see that in the thing here. Yeah, this should be a string that I set in here so that I can have it properly say what the time is. Like, it might not necessarily need to say that there are hours. So I've kind of been wasting my time here, but still learning. Not that learning has any value anymore. Looks like you can't do this. Yeah, I guess you can't do this. Should be able to, because all it's doing is passing this to string.format. Oh, the comma was what was screwing it up, so I had to escape the comma. Oops. Can't forget the I don't know why there needs to be percentage. It's weird. Alright, so let's see if it works. Alright, so there we go. As for why the playlist views doesn't work, let's find out. Playlist views is 0. Evidently, I cannot parse this number 11 million correctly. Or 13 million. Alright, so I guess the number is so large. I gotta figure something out. Well, I'm gonna end it here. It's been 45 minutes. Most of it me just trying to figure out basic stuff. But I did figure it out. Even though this is not how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna change this value into a string and display it correctly. So that's gonna be it. Goodbye.